Jack here of JBF Music Guitar Lessons, obligatory spammy self-promotion box checked, and on with the content. Today I'm going through my If Vai Played For Rage Against the Machine video. Link will be up in the top right if you want to check that out, and in the comments below as well. So I'm going to go through it bar by bar and talk about the ideas and techniques I used to try and emulate that Vai sound. Obviously there's a lot more to his playing than we'll get through in this short video, so think of it as a tip of the iceberg kind of thing. So there's quite a lot to unpack here, even in this first bar alone. Starting off with the whammy bar depressed. In an ideal world you want to pitch that about a perfect fourth below the note, but it doesn't matter too much. When I've raised the bar up to its resting position, and the note's in pitch, I'm bending up a tone. Once I've bent up a tone, I'm hitting a pinch harmonic. Very specifically the pinch harmonic there. This is a thing Vai and Satriano will do an awful lot. They'll pick pinches that really complement the note and the key of the piece. They will do ones that are a bit more left of centre if that's the vibe they're going for. A really good example of that kind of out of key pinches would be Skid Row's Youth Gone Wild, this bit here. It's got that real kind of raunchy sound, a bit dissonant, so it is a tool you can use, but I've not used it here. Another thing to point out here, a lot of Vai's playing is to do with combining stuff, so this is a great example where we're using like a kind of whammy bar, little stunt, into a bend, into a pinch, a very kind of intentional pinch. So after that I'm returning the note to pitch and a little bit of vibrato. At this point I'm probably switching from my bridge to my neck pickup, and I think I stayed on there for the rest of the solo for that kind of creamy Vai sound that he's known for, or at least trying to get it. After this, we've got another very Vai thing to do, is playing big slides or kind of legato moves up and down one string. So I'm sliding from this 4th fret all the way up to the 18th and then down to the 14th. Slides like this thing, it takes a bit of practice to kind of get used to travelling that far and hitting the notes. So if you're just getting used to it and you're kind of overshooting it or undershooting it, just take your time, do it slowly, it'll get there. The next thing I've done here is a little bit pointless, but flashy playing is part of Vai's, it's very much part of his shtick, right? So I'm tapping on the note here, and I'm pulling off to the octave below. Now what I could have just done here is use my left hand and slid into it. I mean, if you look at a song like Shy Boy where he's playing it with Billy Sheehan, his twin power duo brother, they do all this kind of like fancy looking stuff. It just looks cool, it's a bit flashy. So tapping there to the octave, and then I'm pulling off and sliding this finger from the 2nd to the 4th, and then once I've done that, sliding the note up off the fretboard, because it's just a Vai thing to do, these kind of quirky little noises. The next part here, at this point I'm going to point out the first measures here. I've really just taken the rhythm that Tom Morello uses to try and make the solo sound a little bit more cohesive, and here I'm doing more of this legato on one string that I've been talking about. So I'm doing this kind of hammer-on pull-off thing. And at this point I'd probably do the slide with my middle finger because I have a bit more control over that. And you ideally just want to pick the string once, so I'm just picking the note here. And then for this big slide from the 10 up to the 15, I'm depressing the whammy bar a little bit. So you're getting not only the slide, but this kind of thing going on, and then a nice kind of slow Vai circular vibrato when you hit the target note there. Right, the next part here, Vai doesn't do that many shreddy runs, but he does do them sometimes. I thought it'd be fun to put in. Originally I was just going to do this legato and I was just going to pick the harmony part, but when I was messing about with it and doing some sort of rough takes, I found out picking this part and then doing legato on the harmony was actually kind of better. On a side note, unlike the Rage Against the Machine song where it's a fixed harmony, I messed about with the harmony part for the guitar here to make it sound more Vai. That's a whole different topic in itself, so I'm not going to get into that right now. If you do want me to explain a bit more about what's going on, please let me know in the comments below and I will try my best to kind of do something about that. When Vai does do a run, it's normally kind of interesting, so it might be a kind of a group of 7 or 5, I've done the lesson on kind of odd groupings up there if you want to check that out. I didn't go for anything quite as exotic as that here. What I opted to go for was 16th note triplets into 32nd notes. So you still get this kind of cool off-kilter feel, where you get 3 notes for the first 2 beats, and then 4 notes put in the next 2 beats. So you'd have something like, I'll slow it down. And I just carried that on throughout the scale. I'll go through it a bit more slowly. At this point I changed things up a little bit. So in the next bar here you can see things are going a bit weird again. So I'm doing this kind of move. So a quick little bend from the 16 to the 17, return it, and then hammer in. Then I'm sliding from the 19 down to the 12, These grace notes, these akiakaturas, are very Vai, this kind of whiny sound. So you want to get those in as much as you can. We got this pre-band thing, slide down. And then what I did here was, I'm playing the 12th note here, right? This is an E, this is also an E, but I'm sliding from this one to this one because you get this kind of sound that Vai's quite, you know, uses that quite a bit. It's a Vai sound. So, that thing. And up the 5th, just because it sounded quite triumphant. The next bar here, I more or less just did the same as what Tom Morello does, because it did sound kind of Vai already. The only thing that I did differently is I moved this note that Tom Morello played on the 21st fret up to the 22nd. And the reason I did that is so I could get the same effect of having the same note but on different strings, just like in the last part. The next bit is a lick that Vai actually does. If you check out the song Building the Church, it's the intro to that. I've actually done a lesson on it, so if you want more detail on that, you can check out there, and I'll pop it in the comments as well. So I'm not going to go too heavily into this one because I did do quite a comprehensive video on it. The way Vai would play it, just to kind of go over it quickly, would have been here and using these 3 fingers and these 2 here with his hand over to mute the strings. I found it too difficult to switch to that and still be able to get from the part before to the part after, so I kind of adjusted the technique a little bit. Either using my, depending on what mood I'm in, either using my first finger to mute the strings and these 2 to tap here, or just those notes like that, and kind of trying to be careful about muting it with my first finger. The right hand tapping part, you could just use 1 finger because this is relatively slow here compared to what he does in Building the Church. You need to use all 3 fingers to get up to speed. So there's a few combinations to try. You could just use that finger, that one, you could use this one here, or you could use that one twice. So just try different things and see what's easiest for you. For the kind of slow demo of this, I'm just going to use 1 finger because I think it's a bit easier to work out what I'm doing here. So essentially these fingers just alternate, right? After that I took the same idea and I just kind of moved it up. So I'm playing this note, this one, here, here, and here. That kind of sound. The next part here, I was talking about kind of weird noises and harmonics. I kind of went the opposite route from before, where I played that really consonant one here. This is kind of an out there sound. And I was kind of going for the vibe of there's a bit in Die to Live, I don't know if I can remember.
20 minutes later.
So here what I'm doing is tapping this fret, pulling off, I'm just doing a kind of little semitone bend with this finger, tapping again, doing the same move, but I've just moved down a fret with my left hand. So you have, then I'm sliding down to the 9th fret, and then sliding down 1 more to the 8th, and when I did this, I'm tapping the fret wire an octave up. So this is a tapped harmonic, and you just kind of want to aim above the fret wire, and that'll give you the sound an octave above. I'm going to do a little lesson on tapped harmonics, so when I've got that ready, I've linked it up in the top right. Anyway, so that played together. The disadvantage of being a neck pickup here is that a bridge pickup is going to lend itself to letting those harmonics sing out a little bit more. But, you know, it still cuts through alright. Got a kind of cool fuzzy texture to it as well. Now in this finale here, where Tom Morello's still doing his kill switch thing, I think that Vai does an awful lot is plays in 5ths. So by this I mean it's kind of going up. So every interval here is a 5th, apart from when I'm going between the G and the B string. I did that to make life a little bit easier on the fingering, and it also sounds quite good. Quite Vai. There's lots of variations you can do on this, so take this pattern and kind of play about with it. The other cool thing I did here was with the harmony. So the first time when I'm playing the harmony part is playing on the D. So I'm moving up essentially all in 5ths, except it's harmonized in 4ths. Try and get your head around that. After that, I just take the same shape, right, and I'm moving it here for the main guitar part. The harmony then moves up to the F sharp, so what I'm doing is playing, you know, moving up in 5ths and harmonized in 5ths. So the first one would sound like, whereas this one will sound like, and then final one, what I did was I just exact same shape I'm doing again here up in D. Oops. And that one, the harmony part, stayed on the F sharp, so it's all kind of harmonized in 3rds, so you get this kind of sound going on. It's kind of triumphant, it's almost out there, but just in enough that it doesn't sound too weird. The other thing is when you get up to these notes here, you want to slide down. That kind of thing. For the final bars here, I tried to go for the most kind of like pew pew laser gun sounding Vai sounds I could get. So I'm doing a pre-bend on the 16th fret, semitone, return it to pitch. But while I'm doing the pre-bend, I'm actually moving the bar a little bit as well. So I got the bar pushed down, and then I'm lifting it up. So if I just did the bar, you get that sound. If I just pre-bend, you get this sound. When you do them together, you get this. It's very subtle, but it's these kind of little things that make something sound a bit more vibe. So I'm pulling up to that one, then one of these big slides again. You know, nice bit of vibrato there. Then I depressed the whammy bar, and then tapped on that note and returned it to pitch. That bit was making me think of, there's a really cool section in this song, Frank, where he's using natural harmonics in his whammy bar, and it almost sounds like he's playing the slide or country part. The reason I know that is because I was listening for like an easy-ish Vai song to learn years ago, and I was like, oh, Frank sounds okay, it's in 6/4, it's got this kind of groove all the way through. And then it got to the harmonic bit, and I was like, alright, okay, this is going to require some study, just like all of his other pieces. There's no easy way out of Vai. Okay, so it's recap time now. Quite a lot to digest there. First off, using your whammy bar in a kind of musical way rather than just dive bombs, although he does do those as well, to be fair. Pinch harmonics, a kind of creamy neck pickup tone. Combining techniques to get your finger gymnastics. If you check out Freak Show Access, I'll link to an interview that I'm thinking of if I can find it. It's a really good example of that. Legato with the wide intervals, often just kind of on one string, big slides, that sort of thing. Flashy looking playing, tapping and sliding out of notes, you know, that kind of thing. Runs in interesting groups that might feel a little bit disjointed, but still follow a kind of logic. Bends followed by hammers, that thing. Quick slides to grace notes, same note on different strings. And innovative techniques, try to do something, I think he always tries to do something unique with every song, so the Bill in the Church had that cool tapping thing. Occasional out notes, so notes that sound a bit wrong, like that. Although to be fair, I did model that off the solo that Tom Morello wrote, because he does an out bit there as well. Moving up in fifths across the strings. And also trying to do less orthodox harmonies, so harmonies that are a bit more kind of out there, a bit more Vai sounding. So just think of that as your handy dandy Vai starter pack. It's not a very comprehensive look, it's plain, but I think, you know, as a starter pack, it's getting you in the right direction. Cool, so as always, hopefully enjoyed that, learned something new. If that has been the case, you've taken away some new information, ideas, got a better handle on Vai's playing, some new licks or whatever, please do consider to share, like, comment and subscribe if you feel so inclined. Cheers guys.